Hi, okay, this is my daily makeup and I'm going to do it kind of in tutorial form and show you what products I use. This is not my fancy looks. Each of those are different and I tend to follow other YouTubers or images or ideas that I have, but this is kind of general makeup for daily use. So let's get started. I always start with spraying some N3. It's called No Name Necessary, N3. Oil Control Makeup Primer. I have a primer that I can put on with my fingertips, but I just don't like it. It's kind of thick. I prefer the mist, which is very fine. So I just do a bunch of that, rub it in a little bit, but I find that I actually use them like that far better than a thick primer. Then I follow up with the classic CoverGirl Clean Matte Classic Ivory, which is my skin tone. It's a liquid foundation. I have used CoverGirl or Neutrogena since I was 15 and had bad acne. So these CoverGirl or Neutrogena's liquid foundation is my favorite, and I've been using it for years and years and years. And it's nice to just create a good base. I actually don't really have to do my forehead today because the Pink Wig, the official Pink Wig, has bangs. And I don't like to do my forehead and then get the makeup on my wig. So I will probably kind of skimp on my forehead today. You can wet the makeup sponges. So I have these makeup sponges. You can wet them down beforehand. I used to use them dry, but I prefer to use my same spray primer to wet them. I think it helps stuff stay better. I mostly get the T-zone, especially my under eyes, which with bad allergies that are year-round, you can get those dark circles. But I'll show you what else I use for dark circles. So basically, I do kind of just a thin layer with the liquid foundation, not too thick because I use a lot of other products on top. So it's not like the liquid foundation is covering everything. So it doesn't have to be super, super glompy and thick. And I'm much more of a pale with redness showing through skin tone. So it's nice to have a matte, neutral foundation. This is something my sister-in-law told me about that I love dearly. It's called the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. It is by, wow, what company is it? I get number 110 Fair. I buy it on Amazon. It doesn't even say the brand necessarily. Oh, it's Maybelline. That's right. It's Maybelline. Yeah, so Maybelline does these. I get these on subscription now because I use them so often. Whoa! There goes my camera display there. Sorry about that. I use them so often, and the nice thing is that they have this little brush that helps apply it very evenly. I mean, this little sponge that helps apply it very evenly. So I definitely do that for under the eyes as well. For any fine line areas, any areas of typical redness. Around the nose. I have a little acne spot there. I don't know if you can see. And there, and I will show you what I do for that as well. So I'll put that on. Then my favorite thing for acne or definite redness spots is BB cream, or any, I shouldn't even be BB, it's not even necessarily BB cream, anything green. Right now I've got L'Oreal's BB cream, but green is fantastic for blocking out redness. So I just put a spot everywhere that I need it. And that definitely conceals any acne or redness spots far better than just layering foundation after foundation on. If you don't have a green concealer, you can literally use green face paint. I have used in my Athena You Can Be face paint makeup, which I love so much. I have used this color green to block acne and redness, and it's really, really helpful. The last thing that I do under my eyes that I discovered myself, and I'm very proud of myself for, this is a brand new one, so I should open up, is a purple corrector pen. So everything about makeup and skin tones and coloring and contouring has to do with color theory. So if you know that you're trying to match a certain color hair or your eyes or your clothing, you know, you can follow color theory on what colors go well with that, but also you can cancel out color that you don't want by doing the opposite color in the color wheel. So that's why we do green on top of red, and I do purple on top of brown. So this is a very light purple. It's like a whitish purple. It's very much a lavender, and I do it right on the dark circles of my eyes, and it cancels out the brown from the dark circles. Unfortunately, this is new and it has to be twisted, so I might take a minute to do that. Also, this is from Maybelline. Maybelline makes a lot of the products that I use, and they're not necessarily a high-end fancy brand. They're pretty cheap, but they make quite a good variety of things. I've used Maybelline mascara for years and Maybelline cover-ups and things like that. And I am having a hard time opening this. I've got to twist it for a while to have that purple show up. Again, it's got a sponge top, which I really love for application. There we go. And I just do the lavender. It'll look white on camera, but it's got a purple tint to it. So this is Maybelline's Master Camo, and it's color correcting, and they call it blue. It's called blue online. I do not know why. It is very much a purple. I do not know why they call it blue, but they say blue for sallowness, and I use it for under eye circles. And you can even see in my Instagram account, the Pink Wig Life, just the Pink Wig Life, all one word on Instagram, you can see before and after pictures. I've got a couple posts there of the dark circles before I learned how to use purple, and then afterward when I got the color correcting pen. So now I'm just going to blend everything all together. The green, the cover-up stick, the purple. You want to go also above your eyes and give yourself like a really clean palette above to work with your eyeshadows. So now I've got just like a fresh palette, right? My face is like a fresh palette. So for contouring, I've used quite a few things. For powder contour, I really do like Bare Minerals. I got this at Costco. It's a whole bunch of different contouring colors, but it's powder. And I found that with experimentation, I really do prefer, so I only use really the powder for the nose, but I really do prefer like a cream stick. So Almay has a Skin Perfecting Comfort Concealer. I use number 240 Dark. And it's a concealer that they sell, but I use it as a contouring stick, and it's my favorite so far. I've tried a few. I've had some that made me break out, so clearly weren't very clean, you know, not the best product. And this one has been the best success so far. So you want to suck in your cheeks, especially if you're trying to create a more narrow face. If you're a rounder face or you feel a little swollen for some reason, too much sodium, as the Koreans would say. And I really do love Korean skincare products too. That would be a whole nother video, but you want to suck in your cheeks and follow that line. It's going to create a more angularness. And then in order to make your face smaller too, you're going to create a line where you want things, like you can cut in even sharper on your chin in order to create an even more pointy chin. But this is, especially on camera, going to create the angles you want. Now I'm going to create a more narrow nose. And then give myself a little bit of an eye lift. uh, accentuate the Cupid's bow and give myself a fuller lip and pout. Now you can go ahead and like blend this in right away, but I'm just going to go ahead and put the white on first and blend it all together to show you then the opposite. So you're going to really create darkness everywhere that darkness would normally show up in order to create more shadows and angles so that your face, because a lot of people don't like how they look on camera because it flattens out your features and makes you look like chubbier and funnier than you actually look in real life because it's not showing the accurate 3D image of your face. Mirrors, cameras, it's flattening those kinds of things out. And so when you do this, you're giving the camera more shades to pick up. And then it looks better. So then you want to take all of the areas that are closest to the sun, sticking out, you want to add lightness to again create depth of differences here. The tops of the cheekbones, right underneath the eyebrow. Again, I love crayon type sticks. I wish I could even tell you what brand this was, but I can't because I've used it for so long, it's rubbed off. Like it's my favorite thing. When I give myself a very white face, I use this. Like when I wear the grayish white wig, or I'm giving myself a very light white anime face, I will use this white and a LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation in white. But I've used this so long, I don't even remember what brand it is. But it's just if you look for like white makeup stick, you're gonna find something on Amazon. I basically, especially here in quarantine, get all of my products from Amazon. I'm gonna do the point of the chin, especially since I'm creating darkness right there. And the top of the Cupid's bow. Although I tend to go back and do the Cupid's bow with an actual white pencil to get more precise. And then we blend in. Because the problem with makeup on camera, if you just do foundation, is then you look like flat and thick. I just kind of blend it together with the same sponge. You don't have to. You can blend one color after the other, but I want to get really smooth finish. If you want to stand out like sharper cheekbones, then you don't want to blend it as much. So it's going to give me a much sharper jawline. More of a little pout that makes me look more youthful in my lips. Now, if you really want a very straight, thin, delicate nose, you can leave it like that. My favorite nose is a nose with a slight little upturn. And since I do not have that nose naturally, I create it. And that's my favorite nose to do these days, so I'll show you how I do that. You can either take your contouring powder to do that, or you can use a dark eyeshadow to do the nose. And I like it to be much more obvious. I like a really obvious nose, so I use my Mellow. This is Mellow Treasure Chest eyeshadows, and I am a Mellow affiliate, so there is a link on my Pink Wig Life Instagram account, and if you follow that link, you get money off if you buy Mellow products, and I get cash for every time you buy Mellow products. And I love Mellow. I'm not just saying that, like, I became affiliate for them because I really like their products. I have another small eyeshadow palette and I just don't even use it. I use this for everything. They're beautiful, they're shimmery. My case itself is so messy because I use it so often, but I love these. So I use this darkest shade here. And you just want to draw a line right across, down this little tuck of the nose. I don't know what this part of the nose is called. And then around the bottom and connect that line to make a little round nose there. And then you blend that out. I have a lot of brushes I could use for blending, but I really like using the sponges best for blending. So I tend to just stick with the sponges. I use my brushes more for the eyeshadows. Look in my mirror here just to get more precise. And then to top it off, to really add to the effect that your nose is a little bit upturned, you do a dot of white right there and blend that out. And now I look like I've got a little more upturned nose. And especially on camera, it translates really, really well. Okay. For blush, there are multiple places you can put blush. You're wanting to give yourself a much thinner face. You know, if you've got a round, or, you know, you really feel like you wish you had hit the gym a little bit more, which there are days for me, then you want to suck in and do right along here, and it's going to really add to that mature angular face. The classic place to put blush is on the apples of your cheeks. That's going to, if you don't have very well-defined cheekbones and you want to add a cheekbone look, you can do it there. I prefer drawing attention to my eyes. So the anime style is to have this area of the face be the widest and biggest, and this area down here be the smallest. So I cut in on my contouring. I don't add any blush down here. I just contour, and then I add all the interesting stuff right in here. You know, the nose, the blushes, to make this look big and huge. Plus, having blush up here will make you look more youthful. It's a very, you know, more childlike look. So I actually do my blush. I have CoverGirl, again, instant cheekbones. So again, cheap makeup's not super expensive, just drugstore makeup. And I do it way up here, and I just sweep up. Since I already contoured my nose, I don't really hit my nose with it, but you can do across the nose if you want to add kind of like a summer sunburn look. I just blend that a little bit, not too much. And that adds way more interest up here and youthfulness. I'm going to do my eyes last. I've got a lot of different lipstick colors. Again, you kind of want to do what matches what you've got going on. So I'm just going to pick one today. My favorite these days is a matte brown color. I honestly think it looks the best with a lot of different looks. Although I've been adding a little bit of purple to it on the inside. But I use the Plush Rush lip liner Butter London. Again, get on Amazon. And I really like this brown color. Now, I have been doing, not accentuating the humps, the cupid bow of the lips. I've been creating a flat upper lip, which also gives more of a youthful look. I'll show you. Actually, I should probably use my actual mirror for this one to be really precise. So I kind of come up and larger than the lip actually is, and do a straight line. So I overdraw the lip, and then I fill that in a little bit. Again, it's much more of a youthful look because they don't have clearly defined Cupid's bow when you're a child. I think I called this the Cupid's bow, and that's not actually what it's called. The little indent. I need to know my terms. Then I might slightly overdraw the lips down here and fill it in just a tad. And because it's a very nude color, it looks a lot more natural. I have a nice clean line. Then I have naturally thinner lips on the thinner side, and this makes me look much fuller. Then I might come back over with a white pencil, white crayon, not pencil, but white like crayon type thing. Yeah, crayon. Retractable eyeliner by NYX. I really like NYX. NYX NYX products are really great. I have a whole bunch of sparkles from them too. And I just add some white above and on the ridges there to, again, so you give it a little bit more definition, add a little bit more of a pout. And lastly, if we're going to continue on with the matte look and not use another color, oops, that's not it. My favorite lipstick is also by NYX, and it is a matte color lipstick. So it is just a brown. Much fuller lips. They look natural. You wouldn't know that I even did a whole bunch of things to them because they look more skin tone color, but they also look pretty. Lastly, if you want to be fancy, I've been using L'Oreal Paris's, I think this is Plum. What color are you? It's a basic purple. And I've been doing, again, everything with makeup is about accentuating shadows and stuff and understanding 3D dimensional shapes on your face. So I will add it right in here and blend out to add even more definition to my lips. Makes them look even fuller because I'm adding a shadow. And now a little bit of color. Already look younger than when I started. All right, lastly is the wig. But second to last, the eyes. Again, I've done tons of different styles on my eyes, but my most basic go-to everyday makeup, I'm going to take a darker color. I like to kind of play with a little bit of blue today, since I've got blue in my dress, and I'm going to be drawing the pink with my wig, so to add kind of a complementary color. So I have, by NYX again, the Ultimate Shadow Palette in all the fancy, like, flashy colors that I use only occasionally when I need a pop. Normally, I would probably take just, so I'm going to take like a thicker brush. These are Miss A brushes. Normally I would just use like the Onyx, that dark shade again, in my Mellow palette, or maybe the second to darkest one, the Smoky Quartz. I'll probably do Smoky Quartz today, the second to darkest one, because I'm going to add blue on top. Normally I would probably just do the brown, but because I'm going to add blue, I'm going to do a slightly lighter brown because I'm going to add the blue on top of it. So what you want to do is you want to see your eye in thirds. There's this third, the middle third that's closest again to the sun, so it's going to be the lightest because we're still playing with those shadows. And then the bottom third. And you're going to color the bottom third on both corners, both corner thirds, in dark. All the way up and slightly above the crease. I tend to just blend a little bit with my finger. That's probably uncouth for most makeup artists. Most probably get out a blender brush, but I like the precision of my finger. And if you blend a little bit down through the crease, you have that nice crease line. Sometimes I add red into that crease line. I can do that today just to show you an even more thorough look. I get a small brush here. Sometimes I will add like my blush back into that crease line to give even more definition, to make the eyes stand out. Again, playing with those shadows. So I'll do that. Now let me get a new brush and add my blue. into those same dark spots, those two dark thirds. I put the brown in first to give the blue a little bit more oomph, so it wouldn't look too light and sallow by itself. And I'm not going to blend the blue into the crease because I want to leave the crease a little bit red, but I'm going to blend it with this little tiny sponge. I dropped my other thing. There you go. After that, you want to take a really light color, like a light neutral shade. So my favorite again with Mellow is either the Amethyst, this really light one, or the Smoked Topaz. I'm going to do the Smoked Topaz today. And you're going to do that in the middle third. Now, I take my white crayon again, and I do just the inside corner to again lighten the eye. Blend a little bit. And then in order to give again a more youthful appearance, again up to you, you can do whatever color you want on the lower eyelid. I do my lower waterline in white to give that clean, fresh, youthful appearance. But it's up to you. You can do basically any color in here. I don't really tend to do my upper waterline very often, but you can do that as well. I also use Total Temptation Brow Definer, number 305 Soft Brown, and just pencil a little bit into my eyebrows to give them a cleaner, more uniform look. And then again, I just use a finger and blend it in and lay those brows down. I have a brow brush, but for eyeliners, again, there are all sorts of different styles. You can bring them out. There are wingtips. I'm just going to go ahead and do a basic one, not a fancy wingtip one. This is again NYX liquid eyeliner. I much prefer liquid because if you have like a pencil, it feels like you're stabbing yourself, and it's hard to get a really pretty dark line. So I've never liked eyeliner pencils. I have a couple that I should probably toss because I just don't use them. And I just go from one corner to the next. And I'm just going to bring it out straight for now. Not worry about doing any sort of fancy wingtip. And I might do a little bit of the waterline right here just to connect it. And add like a couple fake eyelashes for fun on top there to give it a more full look. And there you go. So I just kind of followed the eyeshadow line. Let me do the other eye. The other eye is harder for some reason. I think it's because my right eye is weaker. So once that is done, I apply a mascara to tops and bottom eyelashes. I don't curl my eyelashes because my eyes are naturally curly. They stick up, but some people curl their eyelashes at this point. I do not use false eyelashes either. Not only do they feel like a pain to me, like I've worn them to conventions and they bug me, but I also feel like once you start wearing false eyelashes, you don't feel like you look good without. So I never kind of want to get to the place where I have to do that. So I just focus on my own eyelashes. It feels like with a lot of these makeup steps, once you get started with one of them, you feel like you can't go without. It's hard to go back. And false eyelashes is not something I want to be dependent upon, at least at this stage of my life. Maybe as I get older. And there you have it. And this is where maybe you would stop and do your hair. But for me, it is wig time. The pink wig. And there we go. Tell me what you think.